So, hey everyone, I'm Shishir Tiwari, and we are going to be talking about what is generative AI, everything we need to know, what are the potential benefits, risks, and using generative AI technology in various industries, and what are the ways to use it ethically and responsibly. So first, let's talk about generative AI's evolution. So in the early 1932 to 1950s, initial works on computer-generated art, music, and literature by pioneers like Aaron Turing, and Alan Turing was one of the guys who generated Turing machine and during the Second World War. Then rule-based systems between 1960 to 1990s, development of rule-based systems for generating simple graphics, text, and music. It is also somewhere the history of the generative AI today. Statistical approaches, use of statistical methods like Markov models, data-driven content generation was done and made possible because of this. Emergence of deep learning techniques like CNN and RNN for realistic content generation, which is also one of the basics of today's generative AI. It is also a deep learning breakthrough that we had between 2010 and 14. GANs and beyond, which is the current working scenario of AI, it is general adversarial networks for high quality content generation. Introduction. So generative AI can produce text, image, audio, synthetic data. Advancement in GANs and transformers enhanced generative AI. Transformers has been one of the main reasons for enabling unlabeled data training for the very depth in answers. Challenges in AI include accuracy, bias, and hallucinations. Generative AI transforms multiple industries, as you all can see right now, and a lot of jobs are having the impact on it. How does generative AI work? Early generative AI used complex tools. Then it was improved for user experiences with plain language prompts. As you all might know, that generative AI works in prompts, text prompts. Now, customization includes feedback for style and tone. Generative AI simplifies content creation and customization, and it is very user-friendly interface that has revolutionized the creative processes. So the generative AI models processes text, image, algorithms as discussed earlier. NLP, natural language processing, converts characters into vectors. For text analysis, images are converted into visual vectors. Caution is needed so that there is no bias for training data. Neural networks generate realistic faces and data. Transformers, as discussed earlier, are the one of the main reasons that enable generation across domains. AI has revolutionized the content creation domain. How neural networks are transforming generative AI? AI content generation used rows-based or expert system. Neural networks mimic human brains, but were limited by data and hardware. Big data has improved a lot, and improved hardware has made neural networks practical. GPUs are just like CPUs, but they process graphics, and they have accelerated the production of content generation. GANs and transformers, advanced AI generated content, is the today's generative AI. Let's talk about DALI, ChatGPT, and Bard, which are in news a lot right now. So DALI generates visual images. ChatGPT is a chatbot. Bard is Google's chatbot, which was released in response to Microsoft Bing's adaptation of ChatGPT. DALI is a multimodal AI that connects vision and text and audio for creative content built with it OpenAI GPT. It was released initially in 2021, and then re-released with a beta model in 2022. Generates images for multiple styles, showcases the potential of multimodal AI, and demonstrates AI progress and potential in creative content. ChatGPT is an AI chatbot. Right now, it is very much in the news. OpenAI enabled interactive fine-tuning of text responses for dynamic conversations. GPT-4 is a premium version of ChatGPT and latest language model released on March 14, 2023. ChatGPT uses conversation history for contextual responses. GPT integration in Bing by Microsoft shows that right now it is on a high level of growth and adoption of it in the industry. Google Bard, it was pioneered by the tech giant Google for open sourcing model for researchers. Unlike ChatGPT, there was no public release of Google Bard. Microsoft, when they implemented ChatGPT in their Microsoft Bing search, Google rushed the launch, and thus the hasty decision caused a stock price loss. Bard faced criticism for inaccurate claims and showing that never to release an untested AI chatbots. Now, I would like to hand over to Nathan to discuss about benefits of artificial intelligence and their limitations.
Hi everyone. When it comes to benefits of artificial intelligence, the removal of repetitive tasks, AI has become very useful in this, and this has led to the increase in productivity, where humans are now able to focus on more strategic and high-level tasks. As you can imagine, AI has allowed machines and robotics to basically increase their capability, and this has resulted in the automation of a number of different processes. AI is also able to solve complex problems more efficiently than humans can. And lastly, the military has always been an early adopter of high technology, and AI is no different. AI is being so when it comes to limitations of artificial intelligence, despite the advancements in artificial intelligence, it still falls victim to bias. This is especially prevalent when the data set that the AI is trained on is already biased in nature. Creativity is also something that AI lacks. It does not have the ability to AI is a predictive model where it predicts what is most likely to come next. This does not involve creativity at all. Another limitation is the sourcing of content and being able to find exactly where the content that the AI used was sourced. Concerns: AI is very disruptive to different business models, as Google is now experiencing. Inaccurate information can also be provided. And lastly, there is the potential for misuse and abuse, especially with regards to denial of service attacks.
Hi, hello. My name is Emmanuel, and I'll be speaking on some example of generative AI tools. So there are AI tools are generative AI that can produce text, image, music, code, and voice, among other modality. To learn more about these AI tools, consider the following well-known AI content generators. So tools for generating include Lex, GPT, Jasper, and AI writers. So we can also use the voice synthesis tools to descript, listening, and broadcast AI are also examples of AI tools that can be used for voice synthesis. Companies that produce AI chips design tools include Synopsys, Candice, Google, and Nvidia. Generative AI by industry. Because new generative AI technologies have the potential to substantially alter numerous industry and use cases, they have been compared to general purpose technologies such as steam power, electricity, and computing. It is critical to remember that similar to earlier general purpose technologies, it frequently took decades for people to figure out how to best organize workflow to benefit from the new strategies, rather than simply accelerating certain discrete steps. In the current workflow, various sectors may be affected by generative AI application in the following ways. To create and interpret contracts, review evidence, and develop arguments, legal complaints use generative AI. Manufacturer incorporate data from cameras, X-ray, and other measurements using generative AI to discover problematic parts and root causes more accurately and economically. Architects utilize generative AI to create and modify prototypes more quickly. Generative AI is used by gaming firms to create materials and levels.
So I'll be talking about generative AI history. So in the early days, the first generative AI tool that was designed was Eliza chatbot. It was created by Joseph Weizenbaum in the 1960s. It used a rule-based approach that had limited vocabulary, lack of context, and over-reliance on patterns. In the current generative AI that is based on GAN, it was designed by Ian Goodfellow. GAN, as it stands for Generative Adversarial Network. It generates realistic human faces, synthetic data, or facsimiles of humans. So the techniques right now used are variational autoencoders (VAEs) and long short-term memory transformers, diffusion models, and neural radiance fields. Best practices for using generative AI that are in the industry right now are clearly label all generative AI content for users and consumers. The data that has to be trained with the model has to be vetted for the accuracy of generated content using primary sources where applicable. We have to consider how bias might get woven into generated AI results. We need to double check the quality of AI generated code and content using the other tools. We need to learn the strengths and limitations of each tool as used by generative AI, familiarize ourselves with common failure modes and results, and work around these. The future of generative AI, we can talk about it like that, that today we are using chat gpt and it has shown tremendous promise and it has a widespread adoption of the AI field. Early implementation issues have inspired research into better tools for detecting AI generated text, images, and video. Improvements in AI development platforms will help accelerate research and development of better generative AI capabilities. Generative AI in the coming days will change how we work, including proofreading, designing tools, and training tools. Also, talk about technical advancement, such as in coding for the computer science professionals. These are the references that has been used in creating this presentation. So, thank you so much for going through with us.